So this is my second video after finding out that I am no longer entitled to personal independent payments. Now you're probably wondering why I am showing you my legs. I tend to do that a lot in my videos. And one of the reasons I'm doing that is you can clearly and concisely see how infected they still are. Now, anyone who's watched any of my videos previously will see how infected and inflamed my legs seem to be getting. My arms, if I just quickly pan out, are not as bad. You can definitely see my freckles. I'm a ginger by trade. And let me just quickly show you this one. Yep. So it's definitely my legs. Now, I've still not read the letter from the Department of Work and Pensions. And as you can probably see, yes, I am in my office, aka the bathroom. So welcome again to Crazy Katie, who happens to be in the bathroom. What a surprise, what a shocker. So if we have a look at my knees, oh yes, they are so amazing. I love my knees. This is my left, and I learned how to remember this by somebody. If you do this with your hand, it makes an L. And if you do it with your other hand, it makes a backwards L. So, yeah. So this is my left. And this is my right. Now, if anybody has an operation in hospital, please make sure that they write on the correct leg. So when I've had operations on my left, they will write on your left and they'll put an arrow to where the injury is. So you can't actually see it at the moment, but there is an injury under there. I'll talk about that at a later stage. Or they'll write on the other leg. But make sure they write on the right one, even if it's not the right one, but the left. So yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister. So as you can see, my legs are really, really, really inflamed. I still have my nails painted. They are the colour I put on top. This is the colour they were originally, and you can see that they are starting to grow a little bit now. And one of the things that I have found to sort of stop me constantly wanting to scratch my skin off is if I paint my nails, not just cut them short, but actually paint them, then it's a deterrent for me because I don't want them to get damaged. But at the moment, my skin feels like it is on fire. All of these little marks here on my legs, I don't know what they are. I don't know whether they're bites. I don't know whether they're blisters. I don't know whether they were ingrown hairs that became infected. All I know is that I woke up in the morning and my legs literally last night were on fire. It was like somebody had put a red hot poker into my ankles on both sides. They were very inflamed. They were very filled of pus. So they were very yellow, very white straight away, which makes me believe they were bites or heat lumps, whatever. And I know I've got an ankle bracelet on, and people will probably say, oh, it's because you're wearing this ankle bracelet that you keep getting all these marks. Well, the ankle bracelet itself can actually go all the way up to here. And around this sort of area of my leg, there is no inflammation. It seems to be in the same key areas on both sides of my body. And again, it's not too tight because it hasn't left a mark on my skin. So I could potentially try taking it off and see if it makes a difference, but I can't see that happening. So as you can see, it is literally like someone has got a pen, as my son calls it, and you can draw a line literally both by the inner thighs of my legs, and each leg, it's like practically identical. I don't have a thigh gap, I can only apologise, and that is the shape that my legs kind of make when they're together, but that's neither here or there. So I have been told I can't claim PIP anymore, and I did ring them, and now I'm waiting for them to reissue me the paperwork. Now, the problem I had with the paperwork they sent me was it was illegible. I couldn't read it at all. I had to get someone else to read it for me again. And also I got told I only had 4 weeks from the date the letter was dated in order to appeal. And I said, well, how is that fair when I only received a letter yesterday? It was a Sunday. I've got to put my legs down. I can't do that anymore. It's really hurting. And then, so yeah, it was a Sunday. And we've got to bear in mind that it is going to be a bank holiday weekend coming up at the end of the month. And they give you 4 weeks to appeal it. And the date apparently on the letter was the 1st of May. And I said, well, how is that fair? Because you've not even given me a realistic time frame to appeal or have anything go to reconsideration, reliation, or whatever it's called. Sorry, I've actually got arthritis in this knee here. It's called bursitis, is what I've been told it is. So I have to do all these exercises, otherwise it will atrophy, is what the doctors have told me. And it atrophies and goes like really, really tight to the point where I physically cannot move it or I can't put any pressure on it at all. Then it is not good. But unfortunately, I cannot take anything stronger than amitriptyline or paracetamol for pain relief. So I take everything that I can get from somewhere like the local pharmacist or Asda or Sainsbury's or Holland & Barracks or whatever. So I take, turmeric with black pepper. I take any anti-inflammatory or try to eat anything that is anti-inflammatory as much as I can to try and help with the inflammation. But believe me, when I'm in pain, and it doesn't matter what I do. It's just, it never seems to go away. So there it is. Wouldn't be my video without a yawn. So it's getting late. And like I said, I managed to get hold of PIP. So I'm just doing some of my little exercises now. And you can see how much my knees sort of move or don't want to move, so to speak. So I can just about do that one. But yeah, so there's like all these exercises I'm supposed to do. And because I'm on the toilet most of the day, I do them because I don't have anything else to do while I'm in the bathroom other than do my exercises with my feet. So roll the ankles one way, roll them the other. Toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, circle the ankles. Oh, okay, I need to stop doing that now. That's really, really hurting. I know they say push through the pain, but there's pushing through the pain and then there's just being absolutely like, okay, time out. So yeah, sorry, sidetracked, overshare. So, I mean, being in the bathroom, this is actually a really good way of me doing this exercise, because basically what I've got to try and do is stretch out my underneath here. I think it's called your hamstrings under my knee. Now with this knee, I can do it quite easy. I'm like, yay, I'm invincible. Feel the burn, just get it done. And they say do both. Not at the same time, but obviously try and do 10. And it just kind of like, pardon me, keep the legs sort of elevated. So I'm kind of working under the knee, over the knee. I'm stretching here. I'm stretching my thigh, which is up here. And I can do that quite easily, as you can see with this leg. It's ironic because I have cut this leg underneath a few times and injured this leg so many times in the past. But if I try and, sorry, I can't even get it up there now, do it with this one, I'm not pulling your leg here. No pun intended. I can just about, no, I can't. I'm not making that up. I really, really can't do that right now. It's just, let me try again. I know they said if it hurts just to try and push through it. But straight away, just by doing that, I can really feel like that's better, is really, really tight. And here is so, so painful. So I can do this. That's not me farting, by the way. That is the bath squeaking under my foot. So I can do this quite easy. Up, down, up, down, up, down. But if I then try and straighten it, a little bit more, a little bit, push, 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 push. No. I can get it to about here, and then that is when the pain kicks in. Now, I know I am supposed to do that exercise, but it's knowing your limit, it's knowing your pain threshold. So I really have to kind of like be very vigilant about what I do with this leg, because it is so painful, but at the same time, they've told me it's quite weak. So I have to do these exercises in order to try and benefit myself, and so that my arthritis doesn't get any worse. It won't get any better. See, that's not too bad now. I've kind of loosened up the joint a little. But what they don't want it to do is to deteriorate faster than what it is doing, because basically I've accepted the fact that I've got arthritis, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I can't put my leg up there. No. It hurts. I'm not going to do it. Otherwise, next time, if I was to try and do that, I probably wouldn't even be able to do this. Because they've said the more times you go, oh, that hurts, I'm not going to do that anymore, then in a couple of months' time, you'll be like, oh, no, that hurts, I can't do that anymore. Oh, that hurts, I can't do that anymore. And basically, my muscles and everything will start to atrophy. And then if you don't, it's the whole use it or lose it sort of thing. But at the same time, when it's worn out, be aware that just like with your car tyres, I guess, or your brakes on your car, you fix them and you replace them. But with things like body parts, they don't really want to be doing that to somebody in their 40s. They want to be doing that when you're a little bit older, like in your 80s, because of how long replacement parts tend to last. So, like I said, I've given them a phone call. I'm waiting on the information to be resent. And then I will have to try and take it from there as to what I need to do. But in the meantime, as of the 30th of May of this year, 2024, sorry, not the 30th, the 1st of May, 2024, I have no longer been claiming personal independent payments, because under the new rules and regulations of the Department of Work and Pensions, they are now classing me as no longer as being disabled or having a disability. So anyone out there who is sort of in the same situation as me, you're not alone. And also, I just want you to know that you have a voice. Do not suffer in silence, and try and get the help and support and guidance that you need in order to basically appeal this decision. I do not see why anyone who was declared disabled before Parliament decided to change the rules can no longer be told that they have not got a disability, especially with people that have been claiming independent payments or personal independent payments, for over 5 years. They haven't all of a sudden not become disabled anymore because of the government changing and altering a piece of paper. Your arms and legs are not just going to grow back. The blind all of a sudden aren't just going to be able to see. Yes, technology has moved on. Yes, things will always change. But without these aids or changes to your everyday life, would you be able to do anything? For me, for example, I have to wear incontinent underwear. If I didn't, then I still wouldn't go out, because I wouldn't want to be in a public place when be having a diarrhea in town. Just because I'm wearing incontinent underwear doesn't mean I say to myself, oh, it's okay, I'm standing at the till at Asda. It doesn't matter if I shit myself. And And I've shit myself so much that the nappies that I'm wearing haven't been able to contain it. And all of a sudden the shit is dripping down my legs, and then the person behind me is smelling my yellow bile acid diarrhea as it's coming out of my legs and all over the floor. And then they have to close the aisle, which is probably going to be self-service anyway because they don't have staff, because they think machines are better than people. And then I have to somehow manage to get home with my clothes full of diarrhea, but I would not then be allowed to use public transport or a taxi. Yes, I could use the toilets at Asda to change my clothing, but to do that, I would need to ring someone and ask them to help me. In the meantime, I would probably have my disabled son with me, who would have had a complete spaz out because he would think Mommy was dying. And then the police would probably end up getting involved. So I'm not saying people with bile acid malabsorption don't have a social life, don't go out, don't do things. But the last thing we ever think about doing is going anywhere when we've woke up in the morning and the first thing you're doing is shitting for England. And you're like, oh, I've run out of milk. You're like, oh, forget it. You know, if I can't order it in, I'll get some tomorrow. I probably shouldn't be drinking milk today anyway because I've got diarrhea. Okay, and just because we take things like Imodium or binders or whatever to help us with the condition, it hasn't disappeared. It's like that advert where they're advertising laxatives. It's still in your body, you just haven't got rid of it yet. And as anyone knows, the longer you keep something inside you that is toxic or is prone to being toxic, the more of a health risk it's going to cause you in the long run. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. I do apologise I get a bit dark and a little bit morbid and a little bit waffly. But I'm getting really, really tired now. It's probably because my amitriptyline has started to kick in. So I will say good night. If you have any questions, queries, or comments that you wish to make, please do not hesitate to do so. And thank you for your time. Take care of you.